Hello and welcome to Scots United, where I, Scott, and my team of Scots, who are also me, bring you the latest in movies, television, and popular culture. This week, we come to you with one movie offering and one television offering. So let's begin.
Hey Scott, so I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and overall, I liked it. It's definitely a movie I felt I had to think about and process. I saw it with my dad. He loved it immediately. I wasn't sure what movie it was trying to be, somewhat, because on the one hand, it's Tarantino. I doubt he takes any notes anymore. He probably just does his thing. And the movie definitely kind of ambles along and meanders a bit, in not a bad way. But I don't want to spoil the end, but certainly it sort of changes tempo at the end, I felt. And I felt almost unprepared for the ending. However, it being very Tarantino-esque.
Hashtag violence? It is Tarantino after all.
What I thought the movie was about, which I think it is still about, it's sort of about this time period where there's an old guard that's fading, where there's the new, kind of the hippies are taking control, kind of, but changing the dynamic. We would see after the point of this movie, which is in the late 60s, we're going to see Vietnam becoming much more prominent. And the Manson family murders certainly woke up captured the attention of the nation and just changed things. That would lead to sort of even looking at the idea of the serial killer in the 70s.
Preview, Mindhunter returns to Netflix very soon, y'all. We will be covering it.
Tarantino certainly created this character that DiCaprio plays and placed it in this time period for a reason, because he was trying to make a comment about all of these things sort of converging and changing at the same time. And all that's great, and I really appreciated that. I used to have my DiCaprio block, and I have come around. I didn't really care for Wolf of Wall Street, and certainly Brad Pitt's good. Everyone's good. Margot Robbie's good. Everyone's good. That's not a question. Is this movie slightly disjointed and strange? Or was that sort of the point? Did Tarantino want to surprise us and kind of build up to something and then kind of create this sort of vibe and then kind of take a jag left on purpose? And the end certainly isn't out of character when you compare it to other movies of his that have also done similar things. And this movie is certainly self-reverential in many ways. His Tarantino bits, his Tarantino things he does are there. There's definitely references to previous movies, a clip, DiCaprio's character is an actor. In one of his previous movies, he, attacks Nazis, which obviously is an Inglourious Basterds reference.
Cool.
So there's a lot going for it. It's totally worth your time. It's Tarantino. He's so distinctive. I'm just still a little bit but maybe that's the point. And I'm okay with that.
So that's it for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a magnum opus by Quentin Tarantino. It makes you think. There's some cool stuff happening and great performances. Why not go see it? And now on to TV.
You heard about the new show The Boys on Amazon Prime? It's sort of a darker skewering of comic book tropes.
Marvel?
Mostly DC, but there's some Marvel in there too. What I like about it is that it's not just we're going to show you superheroes, but they're going to curse and they're going to kill people and they're going to be having sex and there's going to be nudity and all that happens. But it's not without its point of view.
Ooh, tell me more.
The superheroes are managed by a company, which is a little Avengers-y in the sort of the tower they live in or they operate out of. And Elizabeth Shue of Adventures in Babysitting fame, yes, she is sort of the CEO who's sort of pulling all the strings, which is interesting, just seeing this sort of calculating woman who really won't really, take no for an answer and will go to extreme lengths to get what she wants. That makes it a little more balanced. The title is The Boys, which kind of makes it seem like, there aren't many women to be seen here. But one of the newest superheroes to the group, the Seven, that is operated by this Vought company, is Starlight, and that's a woman as well. And she's sort of coming in a little bit pie-eyed, but ends up seeing the truth. But it does sort of follow DC, Homelander is sort of Superman, the Queen Maeve is sort of Wonder Woman, the Deep is Aquaman, and so forth. But it takes that theme that's often very central to superheroes, that Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and goes to a logical place with it. If you did have superheroes that felt like they were drunk on power, that they could do whatever they wanted, that they were untouchable, that they were literally indestructible, what would stop them from being whores to fame and money and power and trying to exert that power to cover their tracks however they see fit, to lie, to do whatever they want because they can? Hey, politicians do it, so why wouldn't superheroes? And in that way, I think the show is interesting, and I think it also deals with elements of like the Me Too movement and consent and a lot of current issues.
Okay, lots of good. Any bad?
There's definitely some like shock value stuff that happens just to be shocking, but I think overall, because of what they are balancing and what they are playing with in general, it works.
So that's our show for this week. Thank you so much for joining us, for joining me. This is our 50th episode. How did we get this far? Who can say? But we are quickly approaching our 1-year anniversary. So if you've been viewing, if you've been watching, thank you.